Welcome. My name is Brian Gibbons. I'm one of the founders of SelectLeasePurchaseHomes.com. We're a national brand. We help home sellers sell at top sales price, even in a buyer's market. Back in the 80s, it was very difficult to sell homes because interest rates were very high, between 12 to 15%. Seller financing was one of the most sought after skills for agents to help a home seller sell. Well, right now we have two problems. We have a buyer's market and credit is tight. If you listen to all the news in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, you'll hear all the problems as far as getting a home loan today. So the only people that are buying are actually forcing sellers to sell at a discount. If you have clients that fit this kind of a profile, they bought at the top of the market around 2007 or 8, and they have very little equity. They might be a little bit upside down. What are their options? So what we want to do, if you're an attorney, a financial planner, someone who advises people on their financial issues, please listen to this video. We're going to go through what we go through with the seller. If you give us a referral, this is what you can expect that we will tell the seller. All right. The home seller's presentation, we basically review today's current situation. Where are they in their situation? Do they have urgency to move? If they have a job offer or some other reason to move quickly, they need a fast solution. And as you know, short sale is not a fast solution. Major concerns. They may have major concerns that have to be met. We focus this much like a financial planning interview. We need to know what's important to them. We want to know what their current versus future, where do they want to be? In 6 months, we need to be here. We need to be moved out of this house into here. Or we need to downsize, we can't afford the house. Whatever they need, we listen to their concern. And do they need to meet any specific deadlines? One of the things we pride ourselves in is we listen to what the seller needs. If they need to move out on a certain date, that's the date we will use. It's great flexibility for the home seller. Well, these are their options if they are in trouble of some type. Again, they don't have to be upside down to be in trouble, but in this buyer's market, it takes approximately 10 to 12% of the value of the home in order to be able to sell. So if they bought in 2007, let's say they paid $600,000 for a house. So $600,000 was the purchase price in 2007. But now the comps from the agent, they all come in at $500,000. There's 100,000 grouping there. What can they do? Well, they can do nothing. That's a choice. We're not saying it's a good or bad choice. We say that's a choice. And what we mean by doing nothing is not making any payments. They can stay in the house and do nothing and not pay. They can pay the arrears if they're behind. That's a choice. They can look at a deed in lieu of foreclosure as a choice. As you know, that hurts your credit rating. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy, where you wipe off unsecured debt, we don't recommend a Chapter 7 because it just delays the foreclosure. And on government forms, you have to write, have you ever declared bankruptcy? Yes. Have you ever had a foreclosure? Yes. Refinance. If you're in trouble and you're trying to refinance through one of the government programs, if you take a look at FHA's success rate on their refinance programs, it's abysmal. And the number one reason why they don't work is that the lenders have to agree to take a loss. So refinancing is never, ever a possible solution. They can bring cash to closing if they sell by themselves or they sell with an agent. But the costs to sell are always around 10%. Most people don't have that kind of money, especially in the upper end. Loan modifications, it's amazing what the history of loan modifications has been. A lot of loan modifications have happened in 2009 and 10, and the vast majority, over 62% of them, have fallen over, meaning they've gone into default after they've been done a loan modification. So loan modifications rarely work out. They can sell with an agent, as we said, and you can pay approximately 10% because you have to pay the real estate commission, you have to pay the closing costs, you have to pay the seller's concessions, and if you misprice it when you enter the market, you have to pay a price reduction. And most people that bought at the top of the market, think about that $500,000 house that you bought for $600,000, and after you pay all the costs, even if you get top price, your net is going to be around $440,000. So you're about $150,000 in the hole. Who has $150,000? Now, if you're a financial planner, think about it. They have to go raid some kind of IRA or 401k. Is that prudent? Is that a good idea? Chances are it's not. So what's left? They can sell, lease, purchase with us. And we want to go through some basic benefits, what we tell our home sellers. And here are the benefits. They get top sales price. Now, what happens if you're upside down? How can that be a great solution for you, Mr. Home Seller? Well, what we want to do is run an amortization table and see how long it would take to pay down principal. And what we also get is we get PITI payment made, because comparing it with just rent, you get market rent and no more. The way our plan works, you get market rent plus an option payment that matches your PITI payment. So you don't have to feed the rental. On the upper end, let's say a $500,000 house will rent out at $2,000 a month, but your mortgage PITI payment might be much more. So what we want to do is to help your clients, if they're trying to sell, get that PITI payment made and buy some time for the market to correct itself. It's a fast solution because we can generally be successful in 45 to 60 days. It depends on the house, it depends on the location, but if it's in a great school district, chances are, even if it's in the middle of winter time, we can find some home buyer that's been turned down for a home loan but just missed it. It might be a young doctor, it might be a young dentist, it might be a business person that just started a business and they only have 18 months into that business. They need another 2 to 3 years time to get that mortgage. There's no fees to the home seller. That really helps because they don't, as long as the house is in good condition and it's rentable condition, there's no fees to the home seller. We get our fee from the buyer. It also helps their credit rating. A short sale doesn't help their credit rating. A bankruptcy doesn't help their credit rating. A foreclosure and a deed in lieu of foreclosure does not help their credit rating. That all harms their credit rating. We protect their credit rating. They may have to leave the loan in place for 2 to 5 years, but the goal here is not to feed a rental. The goal here is to get top sales price with no fees. And we're very, very proud of how even-handed we are with the seller and the buyer. Not only that, we're very, very proud of how we have safeguards for the seller and the buyer. From the buyer's perspective, they don't want to pay money out of their pocket and make sure that the mortgage and the taxes and the insurance get paid. So we have safeguards for that. We want to make sure that the seller has safeguards that they don't have just a regular renter beating up their house like a rent-a-car. It's amazing how much damage you can put into a beautiful $500,000 house. So what we do is we have safeguards to protect the seller. But one of the reasons too, besides the credit rating, is they're helping a buyer buy it that has high income and they just need a little bit more time. And in return, they'll help them get top sales price and pay all the closing costs. So this is a home seller's presentation. We're giving you this video. If you're an attorney or a tax advisor or a title agent or somebody that is basically looking out for home sellers and trying to help them find a creative way to help their clients get out of a situation. So put your thinking caps on, think of your clients and who has a housing issue, whether they're trying to buy or sell. And if they're running into roadblocks, whether or not they're trying to sell in a buyer's market or they're trying to get financing with a tight credit situation, please refer them to us. We'll take very good care of them and we'll let you know every step of the way on our success with your client. I thank you for listening to this video. It saves a lot of time. And if you're interested, please, our contact details are just below. This is Brian Gibbons with SelectLeasePurchaseHomes.com, wishing you and your clients the best possible solutions in these troubling times. Thank you.